You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. From goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin on Blog Talk Radio. Goons to gods, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful.
Holla at us next week, man.
No doubt, man, and definitely shout out to the family, liberationmindedmedia.net. That is Black Eye Stand, Do the Knowledge Radio, The Rundown with Renee, and My Skin is My Sin. Oh, and don't forget to share the show, man. If you check it out today, or if you check it out next week, or if you check it out in 1,000 years, and if you are that motherfucker that digs us up in 1,000 years, you are the most phenomenal individual to ever walk the galaxy for digging up this greatness and still share our shit, man. Shout out to you. Don't forget to check out the websites, emeraldshell.com, designsbymonet.com, and myskinismysin.net.
Yeah. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. They crown you king and then they lock you up. You know? They ain't stopping nothing, no. Protect your throne, doggy.
Ace on the track.
You can keep that love, little bruh. I ain't for sale, nigga. And how you the only shooter involved? And you still tell, nigga. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. I beat the odds and I prevail, nigga. And I still became a statistic. Yeah, I feel I failed, niggas. System don't wanna see us win, huh? That's why they real niggas. Ballistics on a biscuit don't match. He still got a nail, nigga. And I've been on the road to redemption. I've been through hell, nigga. Black man afraid of commitment. I know too well, nigga. Still get a feeling of love when I get mail, nigga. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. And how you the only shooter involved? And you still tell, nigga. You can keep that love, little bruh. I ain't for sale, nigga. Lately I've been feeling myself. I'm doing well, nigga. Practice what I preach when I teach, like I'm in Yale, nigga. Read between the lines, and if you blind, get some braille, nigga. Riding on a wave, I don't ride. I left the trail, nigga. Siding with a side I don't like. That's how you feel, nigga. Pay me in gold, that's LA soul to get a deal, nigga. Real niggas feel what I spill. I still a drill, niggas. Gun enhancement holding me still. I'm trying to appeal, nigga. Heart shattered open, I'm broken. I'm trying to heal, nigga. Heart shattered open, I'm broken. I'm trying to heal, nigga. You can keep that love, little bruh. I ain't for sale, nigga. And how you the only shooter involved? And you still tell, nigga. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. You can keep that love, little bruh. I ain't for sale, nigga. And how you the only shooter involved? And you still tell, nigga. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. You can keep that love, little bruh. I ain't for sale, nigga. How you the only shooter involved? And you still tell, nigga. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas. Prison ain't a place for a king. That's what I tell niggas.
Yeah. The three of us. It's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Look, no weapon they form would ever prosper. Never. I use my scripture for bullets, Bible my chopper. That Bible? When you pray every day, the devil can't stop you. Devil. Ain't no help here on earth, you need heaven doctors. And I say, walk with me, talk with me, dawg. Your life can't be all that hard. Complaining, got all your limbs. Some people ain't got no arms. Some people work all their life. Some people can't find no job. Some people ain't got no house. Some people ain't got no car. We ain't keeping nobody down, we praying for them. And we ain't laying nobody down, we gon' stand for them. Stand right here. Put it like this, if you go hard, go harder. And if you smart, get smart. Coming from the bottom, go far. Anything possible once you go and ask your father. Say it with me, walk with me, talk with me, God. 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 No weapon they form would ever prosper. I use my syrup for bullets, Quran my chopper. Ain't no help here on earth, you need heaven doctors. When you pray every day, the devil can't stop you. No, I say walk with me, talk with me, God. Place me in your caring arms. Keep me from the devil's harm. So my heart don't do no no wrong. Punish, making me strong. Bless me, longevity, long knowledge. Blessing my dome body. Testosterone, keep my mind open. Yeah, keep my mind focused. Stay focused. I just stopped the drinking, stop popping Molly. Now it's time to stop smoking. If you wrong me, I forgive you. I've been let it go, now you know it. I'ma walk the walk and I'ma talk the talk. And this next line should show it. Cause I say I ain't laying nobody down, I'm praying for 'em. And I ain't keeping nobody down, I'ma stand for 'em. Put it like this, if you go hard, go harder. And if you smart, get smarter. Coming from the bottom, go farther. Anything possible, once you go and ask your father. Say it with me, walk with me, talk with me, God. 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 No weapon they form, whatever prosper. I use my scripture for bullets, Bible, my chopper. Ain't no help here on earth, you need heaven doctors. But once you pray every day, the devil can't stop you. So I say, walk with me, talk with me, dog. Walk with me, talk with me, God. Walk with me, talk with me, dog. Walk with me, talk with me, God. Yeah.
What's good, fam? This is Jobs, and you are tuned in to My Skin is My Sin. From goons to guys, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule, and that's be respectful. Oh, shit. Wrong me wrong with the fresh cut.
Nah, this ain't even fresh, bro.
Look fresh, man.
Yeah.
Shit looks fresh, man.
Nah, bro. I had the motherfucking Leonard from 227 mustache going on, bro. Like, I had a crazy ass, my shit was, I had the Shaft mustache, my nigga. Like, that shit was bad. That thick ass. What's the nigga from the Whispers name, yo? The thick ass mustache.
I forget old boy's name.
I look like a backup singer for the Whispers, my nigga. Like, my shit was grizzly as fuck.
Man, see, I ain't even expect. I'm looking a whole mess. Man, I've been asleep most of the day, bro. I'm not even gonna front.
Yo, man, I had the weirdest day, man. Like, first of all, I'm at work today. Every Asian person I saw today had on a fucking face mask.
Wow.
Every single Asian person I saw today had a face mask on, bro.
That's
so
crazy.
Then that shit's crazy. So then I thought, like,
oh, and hold on, let me cut you off, man. For people that's just not tuning in, man, we really don't talk about much for the first 15 minutes. So if you want to go get something to drink, you want to go get something to eat, I would recommend you do that now. And we do have our guest coming on, but he's not gonna come on until about 8 o'clock. But we definitely want to tackle a really difficult subject tonight, and hopefully we can maybe offer some tips or something like that. Or if you know somebody that has been a victim of human trafficking, give us a call, 216-539-0659. And if you want to add something to the conversation, let us know too. And I'm trying to kind of like work with the screen, so work with me. But go ahead, bro. My bad. Just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, I saw like 50 Asian people today with 50 different face masks on. So then I got nervous. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm like paranoid throughout the day and shit, like thinking somebody's gonna walk in where I'm at with fucking Ebola or something. You know what I mean? Like, like, yo, bro. Like, I was really sitting there like annoyed as fuck, bro. So then, not only that, so where I work at, it's an area, it's a school. It's a school right there for John Hopkins. It's a business school. All Asians go there. All Asians. I didn't see not one person of color there. So in the midst of that, I get a call You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To go there, whatnot, to clear some shit up or whatever. So, bro, I get there, and you know, my big black ass walks in the crowd. Yo, nobody over 5 foot, my name. Like nobody. So
Hey,
it's a
we're not
sea.
gonna have no short people slander, man.
Yo, it's a sea of Asian midgets with all face masks on. Like, I walked in there and niggas like I look like fucking Godzilla, like walking through these niggas, bro. And the way these niggas was scattering.
Wow.
Hey, yo, the day was so weird, my nigga. It was so fucking weird. Like it looked like a Japanese rave or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I walked into. Shit was crazy.
That's crazy. And shout out to Sun Ray, man. Shout out to Koya for checking us out. And yeah, I have to like basically change the title on your YouTube after I get started because I have yet to figure out how to effectively use to make an event or whatever. So I just do it after the fact. But what's going on with you, bro? How's everything going in Australia too? While I'm at it too, man. And Koya, I don't know. Let me check. How you been, Queen?
Yeah, shout out to Corey.
Right, first and foremost. And I finally got out of Facebook jail, man. So that's pretty dope. I'm trying to not go ham, so I'm trying to take it easy a little bit. So at least I didn't realize, man. They had me in Facebook jail since October. Like shit that I was trying to share in October, people just now saw today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. But I got like some statistics. I got a couple of videos and some of that. Like we can jump off into that whenever. And damn, it was something I was getting ready to say to you, Koya, and it's totally slipped my mind and shit. It's been a rough day for me, man. Like I needed to go. Like my birthday is next week. So I had to go get my tags, which actually wasn't bad. I'm not even gonna lie. This was the best fucking experience I've had at the DMV ever. I was in and out of the DMV in 10 minutes.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
Yeah, never in my life. What's up, Carm Dub in the building? Never in my life been in the DMV and it been that quick, and I was out of there in that quick. Like I had to go get some something for my cutter because I got a couple of orders for some hoodies, so I'm gonna have to make those. It's basically a plastic sheet. $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, see that right there. I'm not sure what somebody working must be using the garbage disposal or something.
Damn.
You don't hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody using the garbage disposal. Oh, and Carm Dub said hello. And I know somebody's gonna tune in and they're gonna see the title and they're gonna be like, well, they're not talking about human trafficking. Well, Negus Vu had, he won't be able to call in until about 8 o'clock. He let me know yesterday, so it's no big deal. It happens, sometimes people got lives. And I don't want to do it a disservice. I do want to show a couple of things. Like the brother Yarima Karama was in a video I saw, and the video was basically giving tips on what to look out for, how to protect yourself, and first and foremost, Queens, like if you can get a gun, if like that's definitely one of the tips, and there are some people out there that just uncomfortable having a gun, but get something, if it's nothing else.
No, they definitely gotta take self-defense classes, but I would advise everyone to get a gun.
And actually, and shout out to you, Carm Dub. I'm not surprised you strapped up, to be quite honest. And my lighter is about to flick, so I had to take my picture off. But if nothing else, when you walk in at night or during the day or whenever, hold your car keys in your hands. You keep one key in between two fingers. So if somebody run up on you, you can puncture them with your key.
It's about a knife. Like, yo, everybody in Baltimore got a knife, my nigga. Everybody.
If you're gonna do that, you got to be careful because it's a felony. In some states, depending on the length of the blade.
4 inches.
Yeah.
Anything over 4 inches is illegal.
Right.
So that's damn near nationwide. Damn near. But yo, like everybody got a knife. Like you can buy, like in Maryland, they legalized a taser that you don't need a license to buy anymore. Like you can walk in off the street, buy it, walk out with it. And yeah, that's so strong as fuck.
Yeah, if you definitely, that's helpful too. Go ahead and get you, whatever you need to do, Queens, and yell. Make a fucking scene. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, like shit. Buy a machete.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to walk around with a machete. I'm pretty sure you won't.
Bruh. What?
You won't be able to walk around with a machete, bruh.
You're crazy.
They will arrest you for if you can only have a 4-inch knife, bro. A machete is like 2 feet long. You'll get arrested. The last thing I want to do is give somebody, a tip. And do me a favor. Take your video down and just go audio because I do got some statistics going across about human trafficking. And actually, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know how to switch it on my own. I ain't got that fancy yet. Huh? You switched off the audio, bro.
Yeah, my fault, yo. Yeah, I come.
All right. And I know what I can do. That ain't no biggie. Because I want to make sure that people get a chance to see the information too. And if memory serves me correctly, like Detroit is like top 10, Cleveland is top 10 as far as human trafficking. I'm not 100% on Baltimore.
We up there. Support. It's support. We gotta be up there.
And what they say, there's 4 types: domestic workers, construction, agriculture, and fishing, and manufacturing. 4 types of exploitation. I don't think that had anything to do with human trafficking, to be quite honest. Although there's a multitude of things that they kidnap people for, and it's not just sex trafficking. It is like slavery. Ain't no it is slavery in some cases.
Right.
You really got to be on your shit when you out and about, and it's not just women. Not saying that that they are disproportionately women, but men get kidnapped, sex trafficked too. Not sex traffic. I don't know about that one, but human trafficked. And I gotta keep.
I'm pretty sure it's dudes that get snatched up too, yo. Like I'm pretty sure. Like
Rome looked like he auditioning for How High 3 with Method Man. Okay, that was fucking funny.
That was saved for the record. All right.
Carmen, come on now. We tried to be serious over here. You fucking with us.
Yeah, that was sage, all right?
And you know what? Let me I'm gonna let this video jump off right quick. So give me a few minutes, Ron.
So we got too many black women and black children coming up missing these days. Time for a safety check. Ladies, if you see these kind of vehicles parked, do not park next to them and definitely don't park in between them. Also, if you're moving or having to shop during the day. Try to avoid going to major mall places in the evening or at night when it gets dark. So if you come out of a shopping area at night and you're wedged in between two vehicles like that, if you have an SUV, try to go through the trunk of the vehicle to get to the driver's seat. If you have to enter through the driver's side door, get your mace or get you a weapon out, because what they do is they jump out of those vehicles and hit you with a syringe to make you pass out. Also, if you see little cards and things like that on your windshield, avoid grabbing them. Many of those have a powder substance on them that seep into your skin, make you pass out. Also, if you get hit from behind, don't stop. That's another way that they use to get you out of the car to kidnap.
All right, guys, I'm going to make this quick, short, sweet, and to the point. Y'all know me, I don't really do this, but this is important. This is necessary. This whole human trafficking, sex trafficking thing is not a game. It's not a joke. It's real. All right, so I need you guys to take it seriously. Just sent out a bunch of videos and emails to the females in my life, my aunts, my sisters, my daughters, my nieces. Take this stuff seriously, guys. Don't go anywhere, especially this holiday season. Don't go anywhere by yourself. Whatever shopping you got to do, let's try to get it done during the day, because a lot of what these people are doing, they're doing at night, and they're doing, once they get you, they got you. You might as well be on the moon. It ain't nothing that law enforcement can do when we don't know where you're at. We won't have a clue as to where you're at or how to find you. So you've got to take this seriously. I know a lot of us, especially Christians right now, we get hemmed up in a lot of these situations because all we do is pray. And don't misunderstand me. I don't have a problem with prayer. I believe in prayer. The Bible says watch and pray. A lot of times we get caught because you're on your knees with your head down and your eyes closed. You can't see nothing that way. There's nothing wrong with praying, but I mean, you can pray with your eyes open, and you can pray standing up. You can pray in a posture ready to defend yourself. And in this scenario, with what's going on with this whole human trafficking and sex trafficking stuff, you got to be prepared to defend yourself. Those of you that don't want to carry a firearm, go and get yourself a can of mace. Go and get yourself a flashlight taser. Go get something that you can use to defend yourself. This is serious, guys. It's not a game. This is a different Jay talking to you right now, all right? So do what you got to do to protect yourself, please, because most of the men I know, please help keep us out of jail, because God forbid if something happens to the females in our lives and we ever find out who did it, we going to jail. All right? Help us stay out of jail.
The normal. But I'm still going to kick it back over. You ain't going to be able to.
What is this though?
What?
Right here.
That's the power, everything. That power, all this shit in here. Extra air, all that.
That's air?
It's like this, like all this.
I didn't even see that.
I don't even know what all this is. It should look like a bomb or some shit. This is, I don't know, this right here.
Y'all think it's a joke?
That's like the door. I think this unlocked the door. I want to close y'all in here and see.
No, don't close me in here.
Yeah,
I'm going to open it.
I just want to see, knock on it so we can see, can you hear?
I will. Climb out, Alicia. Let her do it.
She ain't scared of him. Close the door. She from Texas with the say something. Knock. Hold on. Knock.
Say something. Scream. Open the door, tell her scream.
You can't hear her knocking.
You can hear it a little bit, but barely.
She said scream.
Closing and scream. Do it again. Oh, hell no. You can't even hear it.
Y'all screaming
hell
loud.
no. You can't even hear that shit.
It's crazy.
Look, listen to this.
Underneath the motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Underneath her.
Look at that shit. That shit.
Yeah, they had something underneath her. You can.
It looks soft.
Because they don't weld it together.
That's the insulation, Alicia. It's insulated. You can't even hear. That's crazy. This some fucked up shit. Whole fucking power box. And then this connect to the outside. That's how this thing get power right here, y'all. This.
What is all this shit running down?
Like they tried to clean it.
Because they don't tell them what they don't roll. The only thing you can see visible is that help.
Yeah, and them little scratches.
And these little hand marks.
Look on the roof. Look at all them scratches up there. Look. I don't even know what that say. That shit look like blood and everything.
No, don't say that word.
It do.
Wow. All I can say is wow. Like, to see the level of shit that they going through to kidnap people. And once you get in a van like that, not saying I don't want you to, if you get yourself in a situation where you are in a van like that, do not panic and understand that your best opportunity, in my opinion, is when your kidnapper comes to get you out of there. You need to be prepared to fight your ass off. But man, and what we were showing in Rome, I'm not sure if those were police or whatnot. And let me know, Carm, if you can't hear me or whatnot. But they were in a van that had been prepared extensively to abduct people. And I mean, it was soundproof. It was metal throughout. Like the lady went in there, screamed, and to see if the lady on the outside could hear her, and you could literally barely hear her. And then they was talking about how they saw scratches, and one lady thought it was blood in there. It just,
wow.
Yeah, that's and
like the hardest part, like I've dealt with them like afterwards. Like I've dealt with victims of human trafficking like afterwards, and like the psychiatric rehabilitation. Like I've dealt with that, so like I've heard the stories, like girls 14, 15 years old, they strung out on heroin, you know what I'm saying, and they was, you know what I mean, they was prostitutes for 2 years, and got snatched up, hooked on dope, and snatched up and never came back home. You know what I mean? And yeah, like so, like I've dealt with like the other end of it as far as some of those victims and them trying to get normalized and get back to going back into society. Like going back into normal society. Like it's hard as hell, bro. It's hard.
And that's like that just it I can only imagine how it incapacitates you to a large extent, just socially and relationship wise.
Right.
And
right.
And Karen was saying that she was coming out of a store about 5 years ago, and two Mexican men tried to block her car in the back of the store, and luckily she was able to escape. But she lives near the border of Mexico.
Oh wow.
So not only are you dealing with being kidnapped, but you're dealing with being kidnapped and taken to a whole nother country.
Right.
Which, like, there was a few years ago in Cleveland. I don't know if this is considered human trafficking or whatnot, because this guy, a bus driver, had kidnapped 3 women or 3 teenagers at the time, I believe, and kept them in his house for years.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
And nigga, they made a skit out of the nigga who found him.
yeah. Charles something. I think that. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, they made a skit. They made it. Yeah, I think Mike Epps made a skit
yeah.
out of him.
I
Yeah,
guess that was pretty funny, but
yeah, it was.
like for years, and he impregnated them on numerous occasions.
I saw the movie. I saw the movie. Like, yeah, that shit was crazy. I saw the movie that they based it off of.
Now, mind you, they were all from Cleveland, and he was in Cleveland. That's how
Right.
fucked up and scary this shit is. That you can kidnap somebody, and it wasn't like he was like out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like his house was the only house on the block. He was in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
So like that's the scary part is that people can take you and just keep you next door. Like we don't know our neighbors anymore to the point where you can have 3 people kidnapped in your home for years and nobody knows.
Yeah, I remember seeing that movie. I can't think of the name of it, but I definitely remember seeing that movie. And yeah, it was crazy.
Let me see. So what is that? 14,000 to 17,000 human beings traffic in the U.S. annually. Actually, it's 14,500. Human traffickers are making $150 billion a year.
That's insane.
It is insane. And I know we like to think that some of these like off the wall, unusual crimes for our community, it ain't black people doing this. It's black people kidnapping people too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like human trafficking, and this is like one of the oldest crimes of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that's been going on since
Exactly.
like since like the beginning of time.
Yeah. And throughout our lineage, yes, we have been kidnapped as a community, and that's how we got here. Let's not continue to do that, man. If you see some shit, say some shit. And I understand that even if you don't want to physically get involved, scream, yell, bring attention to the shit that you're seeing. If you write down everything that you see, write down the license plate number. It's hard to tell somebody, well, follow them, because I don't want you to get yourself hurt or become another victim. But at the same time, we got to be able to do something and without just standing there. Because some people see things and don't say shit. We got this whole ass don't snitch culture, and people take that shit too far. You seeing a woman being kidnapped, that's beyond don't snitch.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
And I believe I've got a video. I thought I did. Yeah, I got a video called "Kidnapping on Tape," and this shit it's literally what it says. Now we can talk over this one because I'm not going to play the audio, because it's got like subtitles, so to speak. The first one is very, very fuzzy, and I couldn't even make that one out. But the rest of them, wow, like the shit that just in broad fucking daylight or just out the blue, like you got to see some of this shit to really believe it. So when you get a chance, bro, look back on this and at least go to that part, because it will never end because predators are disgusting and people don't care about children being raped, traveling for sex, and a lot of predators are politicians, cops, and normal people. That's absolutely true. I saw, actually, it was a sister. She got arrested for human trafficking, and her piss poor ass excuse was it was easy money.
Wow.
Like, how fucked up is that? Like, and for a woman to be involved in kidnapping other women, to me, just compounds it. Not to say that men should be held any less responsible. You should be prosecuted. You should be murdered, period. I'm sorry. I'm not really. But you should be dealt with the extremest prejudice, you know. And like right now, they're showing two dudes just jumped out of a rolling vehicle to try to just kidnap this chick.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, and this one is at the ATM, and this lady was, and ladies, if you see this, please pay attention, and fellas too, actually, because you know shit happens out there. That rear view mirror, be in that rear view mirror while you also, because she could have seen that dude and drove off. Because he walked up right behind her car, walked around the ATM machine, and put a gun in her face.
Mm.
And me personally, and I'm no law enforcement officer, he put a gun in her face, took her out the driver's side, and put her in her own trunk.
Oh wow.
Right. Like they've got a picture of this dude too, clear as day, and I hope they have caught him. But in that instance, I would not have gotten out of the car. I would have stepped on the gas and just took my chances.
Right.
You're either gonna kill me, and I'm not gonna be your victim, or I'm gonna run your ass over, and I'm not gonna be your victim. You know. And then this next one, um, this chick jumps out literally jumps out the trunk.
I think I've seen that.
You know, and it's just like I'm not even sure why they show these people inside the store. I don't see any relevance to it at all, but they did. Um, but yeah, she just jumped and hits her head right on the concrete, gets up and runs her ass right into the store. Like I cannot imagine the level of fear that you would have at that moment.
Right.
You know, and salute to that queen right there because she was not buying that shit. And
Right.
they didn't close the trunk all the way. Had they closed the trunk, I don't know if she opened it or whatnot, but whatever the case was, she got out and she ran and she went right into the store.
You can open trunk from like most cars, most modern cars. You can open the trunk from the inside. There's a it's illuminated from inside of the trunk, but it's a lever or a switch or something or a button you could press
Okay. See, I did not know
to
that.
open. Yeah.
And this last one, this whoever kidnapped her had this girl or woman in the woods in one of those big ass steel containers, locked up, handcuffed.
Wow.
They had to cut the lock off of the container, and then they had her handcuffed inside of there.
Wow.
You know, so this shit is not just some random ass act. This shit is an industry, and people right now are rolling around looking to take somebody because they want to make a quick buck. And
That's fucking insane, man.
it
That's some scary shit.
that has got to be the most heart. I mean, of crimes. I don't. I have daughters, man, and this shit bothers me. It really does, because that's one of my biggest fears. That like as a father, you feel like no matter where your daughter is or how old she becomes, it is your job to protect her.
Right. Absolutely.
And you cannot be every place at every time when you got adult daughters, even if you have children. Wow, she said the guy killed her boyfriend in front of her and chained her up in a container in the woods.
Mm.
Wow, and had her chained up like a fucking dog, bruh.
Wow.
That is. Did you get a back like what happened with her? Do you know anything about that, Carmen? Was she okay? Um, and hold on one second. Let me see who this is. What's good, fam?
What's good with you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Who's this?
Oh, this is Lotus calling in. Joseph knows who I am.
Well, apparently you don't know who Joseph is because you're speaking to him.
There's that. I hear somebody echoing like he's in somewhere where it's acoustics.
Lotus, what up, man? What's
See, that's what I'm
happening?
talking about. Right there.
What's on your mind, Queen?
Well, I saw on the blog talk on social media about the kidnappings, and I wanted to say that that is happening more often than not, right? The numbers that you have gave are the ones that were actually reported, but we know that those numbers can go up exponentially. Um, I've noticed at my job the percentage of my patients that go into the ER or what we like to call internal medicine have been rising amongst human trafficking. Now, people don't like to use that term, but that's exactly what it is, because the thought is human trafficking has to happen internationally. No, it doesn't. It can happen right in your backyard. So
what are they?
that's pretty much why.
How are they getting? Like, how are they getting to you? Are they escaping? The police saving them? And what are their stories?
Well, we had one patient about 5 months ago. She had just turned 17, and she was an escapee. How it happened was she was at the club, and she had like a fake ID or something. That's how she got in there. And she was having a good time, and the guy basically charmed her, swooned her, whatever. And next thing you know, she's in his car. So she wants to go home, but the guy has other intentions. So he took her to a hotel. She said she couldn't remember where because they basically had abused her physically and sexually. And she said something about she was able to get into a bathroom in the hotel and they were drunk and high and all that. She managed to slip past them and get away, but she had no money. So she actually trusted somebody that was Ubering to take her to the hospital because of how she looked. The person took her straight to my job in the ER, and we were able to pull her back. Now, her story was that the guy lied about his age. He was actually older than what he had told her. He said that he had this business and he needed a personal assistant, but he would never describe exactly what she was assisting him with, And next thing you know, she's surrounded by guys. There are no girls around. She's the only one that's a girl. And next thing you know, when she tried to leave, she got smacked around, she got pushed, and she said several dudes had her. And I don't know what it was. I guess God was with her because any other girl would have just gave up, but she didn't. So, I guess it was one of those things where it's not to blame her, but when she went to the club, like I said, she had a fake ID because when she showed us her ID, it was clearly fake. She must have snuck out the house. Again, I don't know the details about her home life, but you can tell she probably snuck out the house. She wanted to fit in, and she got trapped up. And that's how a lot of these perps go after young girls like that. They play on their weaknesses. They play on their circumstances, and it takes a turn for the worse. And she was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
At best, she did have some vaginal tearing. She did have some bruising and she had a contusion because they tried to knock her out. So, it's a very scary thing. We referred her to the Rape Crisis Center and got her the help that she needed. Because she was 17, it's really sticky legally because she didn't want to tell her parents, right? So it was kind of hard for Rape Crisis to be like, okay, well, we're not going to tell your parents. But at the same time, they were like, ooh. I mean, they eventually told her parents, and, I don't know what happened after that because we have someone from Rape Crisis Center in the hospital for things like this. And not even, I'll say 6 or 7 years ago, we didn't have that. So, to me, the whole thing is very, very sad, yet it's very, very interesting. So I'm like, how are we getting all a whole department for human trafficking in particular? You know, it's not like it's a new phenomenon, but now all of a sudden there's this attention towards it now that I found fascinating.
I mean, well, they got a whole department because white chicks is getting kidnapped too. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah.
You know,
but I mean,
but
for people of color,
if it's
though,
there, take advantage of it if you can.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
Absolutely.
Wow. And young sisters out there, like, please stop with the, you know, like stop with that mindset that it's not, you know, it's not gonna happen to you. Because there's only one way to find out if it's gonna happen to you, and you don't want to be that person that finds out. So, like, there's some things in this particular story that could have been prevented. You know, don't put yourself in a really bad situation.
Right.
You know, I grow up at the time you're supposed to grow up. I get it. We all been there. We want to, you know, go out and hang or whatnot. When you go out, go in groups. You put a drink down at the club, even if it's just turning your head. That's a dead drink to you. Don't pick that motherfucker up again.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know, don't be that chick that don't allow your girl to get too saucy and make a bad decision.
Right.
You know, I don't care how smooth or how nice the guy looks. If your girl's like, you know, I'm about to go, no, it's not you about to go hang out with that nigga. You get that nigga number and call that nigga the next day.
Right.
Don't have that regret that you could have saved your friend's life and opted not to. If a nigga really want to fuck with you, he will fuck with you the next day. Trust and believe. You know, so, and I don't want it to sound like I'm putting like the blame on women that have, you know, are getting kidnapped. What I want you to do is to be aware, to be more conscious of the decisions, to do everything that you can to prevent you being a victim. You know,
absolutely.
And it's a lot of dudes out here that know some shady shit is going on and not saying anything. You a whole bitch.
Right.
Let me repeat that.
Yeah, that's fine.
You a whole bitch. You know some niggas out here stealing women and you not saying nothing. Wow. You know, like it ain't too many. You know, every crime got a witness. Every crime. That witness may just be the perpetrator, but there's, generally speaking, in most crimes they tell somebody, and in this case, human trafficking, somebody else is involved. Some other people are involved. You know, so that's a lot of motherfuckers telling their friends or whatever, laughing about shit. Don't be that guy that sits by and listens to this shit and does nothing.
And that's crazy because you've got a lot of people out here where this society has become very selfish. There is this inflated fear of involvement. On the youth side, like you said, and I can't stress this enough, it's not a question of judgment. It's not a question of browbeating or shaming or blaming. But as you said, there are certain things that can be prevented. You know, like you said, don't go out alone. You know, don't fall for the first smile that a person gives, you know. And human traffickers also use women.
Yes,
right?
Yes, they do.
Because, you know, the typical thing is, well, if it's a guy, but then they'll slide and use a woman. And a perfect example was this. When I was 20 going on 21, I was working at a club, and this guy-girl team comes in. And they're doing all this talking, and the girl is doing a lot of talking to me and doing a lot of flirtation. And I'm looking at her like, well, what are you doing? So when the club is closing, I notice they're sitting outside in their car, and I'm leaving to go home. So the girl is like, you know, there's this party going on at so-and-so and so-and-so. So now I'm in my 20s. So at this point, I know better. So it's like, no, I'm not going to go to no party with you. What the hell? So unbeknownst to the guy, he jumps out the car, and he tried to walk up on me like he's gonna hit me. But what he didn't know was I already had a gun on me, and I had the license to carry.
Yeah, that
So
nigga
I
did not
whipped
know
that
what he was
metallic
getting into.
motherfucker out. That nigga was gonna get his head blown up. He was like, ho, 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 ho. I was like, no, 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 no. Because this is not going to be the setup that you're going to do against me. So, of course, when I pulled the gun out, the dude jumps in the car, the girl jumps in the car, and they speed off. Now, some people aren't like that. You know, some people literally go in thinking that they can go out, have a good time, come home, or something as simple as going to the store, you know, or I don't know how many times I tell my daughter when she's going outside, go outside with your brothers. Oh, I don't want to go outside with them. They get on my nerves. No, because we live in a society where they don't care about you being a female. They don't care about your age, how you look. You are a dollar sign to them, you know. If an old dude is riding slow up and down the street and catcalling you and doing it, no, 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 no. It's not what we do, you know.
And I don't want people to.
And
I'm sorry, Queen,
now,
but I don't want people to feel like you purchased your way out of this threat. And i.e., you have bought a house so expensive. Now, there are safer areas than others. Don't get me wrong, but don't think that you are immune to this, because you got to leave that safe area too.
Right.
And some of that
is absolutely
and
true.
That mindset you take with you, that safety that you feel at home, you take that with you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely,
you have got to be aware that rich women, poor women, in between women, men, children, we are all one kidnapping away. It can happen to any of us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody out there to feel like you are somehow above this shit, because like old boy said, like Urema said, they will stick you with a needle and incapacitate you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people not realizing that type of shit. You know, like they've got a million ways to put you down like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
And when you wake up, you are powerless. And we're gonna keep hitting home with that particular message, because I want you to be able to feel that shit. I want you to visualize that shit. I want it to bother you enough that you won't forget, so that when you're out and about, you'll make decisions that could ensure your safety moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
My bad on my little rant, but shit bothers me.
But it's true. It's true. You know, people have this sense of entitlement, like they're invincible, like something can't touch them. And when it does hit them, now they feel guilty and they're blaming themselves. Why did this have to happen to me? I mean, it does happen.
It does happen, you know.
It does.
And like we said earlier, you know, and hopefully niggas, I have a hard time saying niggas. It's just difficult for me. Because I like to say people's names right. But he should be calling up in about 15 minutes. Because I know that his organization, the People's Action, have really been proactive. They've been talking about human trafficking for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they have been really proactive in not only just talking about it, but being about it too, as far as, you know, patrol. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to let him tell you, you know, everything. And I really hate that he couldn't get here till like 8 o'clock. I would have preferred, you know, if it was better like 7 o'clock, because I want people to, they'll see the name, and that's my guy. He's an expert on stuff like this, so I don't know. It's just this is one of those shows that I could not adequately prepare for. Like, I can look up statistics and I can put shit, you know, up on the screen, but it's just not the same, you know. And I was watching a video of a young lady whose cousin and her friend escaped. Somebody was trying to, you know, kidnap them, and she was just like, the fear in her cousin's eye was just, like, she could see herself in that scenario. and basically I forget where they were, but they ended up separate. You know, they both got away, but one ran to the car and one ran in the other direction. Which, when shit happens, like it's easy for people to tell you certain things, like stay together or whatnot. But when shit happens, you do the quickest thing you can. You know, the worst thing you can do is nothing. I personally don't recommend you. You know, if you can help it, like the one scenario we showed where the young lady was at the ATM and he pulled the gun on her again. Like, do not. And this is just my 2 cents. I'm no expert, but I'm not. I don't recommend you get in anybody's car. Period.
No.
You know, even if they have a weapon, unless you got a weapon too, and you just, you know, you feel, I don't recommend you getting in anybody's car under any circumstances.
Unless you're John Wick or Lotus.
Okay. I'm just saying, and since we on it, like make better decisions on first dates. You know, ladies, don't. He don't need to come pick you up. You got a car? Meet me somewhere.
Right.
Well, you know, an area you're familiar with. You know, control that scenario as much as you can.
Right.
You know,
almost been kidnapped before, but like not in that fashion. Like it was just held against my will.
Okay, bro, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. Yeah, my fault.
So silly.
And you know what? That's a good idea too, Carmen. Go on group dates. You know, something that I used to do when I was dating all the time is I would always get her address and
hold on.
Yeah. I would always get her address and I would always call my cousin and tell him the address. This is where I'm going to be at. Or if we was going somewhere, I would tell him specifically where we're going to go. Because not even on the human trafficking aspect, but I've seen a lot of brothers get stuck up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is a whole nother conversation. But I'm saying that to say this. Let people know. And nowadays, you can literally text somebody the location where you're going to be at.
Right.
You know, technology has made it so you can at least, like if you want somebody to be able to track your whole movements for that night, I recommend you do that. And I ain't talking about, you know, you don't have to, somebody. So if something jumps off, the last place that you were should be the easiest place that they can find so they can start looking from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, make better first date decisions. You know, take control of the scenario as much as you can without, you know, like obviously you like the guy, that happens. We all go through that. You know, you like the guy, you want to go out, you know, but you also he should want you to be that way. I'll put it to you that way. Like he should be okay with you sharing that information with whomever. If he likes you. You know? And honestly, like get as much information as you can. Look a nigga up. You can literally pay $25, $50 now and do a whole ass investigation on somebody from your couch. And I know it may sound extreme to somebody, but what's extreme is that you felt comfortable enough barely knowing somebody to put your whole life in their hands.
Yo, but you gotta think, yo, like people do that like all the time. Like it's just a Google search. Like I got a homegirl, like I literally just had a phone call like with a close friend, and like the last two dudes like she bumped into just lied to her. She Googled these niggas, and these niggas had crazy ass charges. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a Google search.
Right. And you know what? Your friend asked the question too. And that's
Right.
step number one. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You don't have to be a jerk about it and you don't have to be offensive about it. But if they have a problem with you as a woman doing your due diligence on protecting your health and welfare, then that is the biggest red flag on the planet and stop fucking with them.
Women too. Like man, you see that thin line between love and hate. Like it's crazy ass women out here, bro.
Okay,
that is
that
true.
was a horrible, horrible, horrible reference because Martin did so many things wrong that he kind of brought that shit on
Tried to
himself.
kill him.
He tried to play.
You're justifying the bullshit. No, bro.
What
No.
I'm saying is that at some point when you continuously fuck people over, somebody's gonna fuck you over back.
That's true.
You're justifying a woman trying to kill somebody.
I'm not justifying it, but what I'm saying is that he should have expected that some woman was not gonna go for the bullshit at some point, bro.
Look, man, like that's what happens sometimes, bro. That's just part of the game, man. Like she ain't no exception because she crazy.
So
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know how
Nah.
fucked up that sounds, though, bro. Like women should just accept being shitted on because it's quote unquote just part of the game.
Do you know how many women shit on dudes? It's the circle of life, bro. It's the Lion King. It's the same. It's the same principle. Like that shit just happens.
That's a whole nother conversation, man. And we're not gonna get too far off into that one, cause that would be a whole nother topic. Carm says she tell her homegirls to watch a man like in public environments to see how they react to things. You'll see their true colors. No, you won't.
Not really.
No,
you won't.
You won't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like most dudes is not gonna like just punch you in the face at the grocery store. They might beat your ass.
No,
at
they're
home.
not.
Yo, speaking
because
of,
it's about charm though, and it's about courting you.
I saw a video today of this dude knock a dude out in the hallway, right? And this girl was with him. Not only did he knock him out, he pieced the girl up. Then like the grandmother come out the crib. Yo, he knocked the grandmother out too. And then like yo, that shit was crazy. That shit made me so mad seeing the video, bro. I couldn't even share it. Like it was one of them videos. I was like, this bitch ass nigga, man. Like
right.
And see,
I can't.
That right there though is like that's the reason why human trafficking is effective. It's because it ain't just you. It ain't that's just a video. But we have all seen at some point somebody doing something fucked up to their woman, and we ain't want to get involved. Now it's understandable because a lot of times them niggas be crazy and will do that shit to you.
No, because a lot of times they go back to get their ass whooped again. And then you got to worry about beefing with a nigga who potentially might try to kill you because it's his wife or whatever the case may be. And they go right the fuck back. That's why.
But that makes it easier for traffickers to do fucked up shit publicly. Because they don't, people don't know. Well, that could be his old lady. Like. So that's why I'm saying, like, if something happens to you, scream that shit out and make sure that you let them know I am being kidnapped by a stranger, like literally stranger danger. Say that shit. Like don't give people the opportunity or the excuse to say they didn't know, they thought the child was together and they didn't want to get involved. Don't give them the opportunity. When they get you in their vehicle, the odds of you coming home decrease significantly.
Absolutely.
So you kick, you bite, you scratch, whatever the fuck you got to do. And if you can, what I would definitely recommend is kick them in the front of their knee. You kick anyone as hard as you can in their kneecap, you will put them down. I guarantee you.
Yep, I know all about that.
You know, we all know about hit the motherfucker in his nuts if you can. But whatever you do not get in a car if you can help it. And
Yep.
I believe you wholeheartedly, Carm W. And I hope that no man ever has to find that out the hard way. Because she said if a man ever tries to hit her, she will blow a hole in his brain. I
I'm with it.
believe that. Um,
Carmen got Mac 10 by the bed. I can see that shit right now.
Mm. What is interesting about the piece, now we're talking about the actual piece of the kidnapping. What really is fascinating, also, when I'm working in a hospital with human trafficking victims, is what happens when law enforcement gets involved, right? Because it's never clear cut. It's very, very subjective. You know, like the girl that I mentioned was a teenager. I mean, the cops gave her this look like, oh, she's probably a runaway. She probably did this. She probably did that. Now, they didn't say that.
Right.
But from the way they acted towards the girl, they moved really, really slow. They took forever to get her report. They really didn't want to follow up with the rape kit. And it's like, we have to treat these cases seriously. You know what I mean? You know, well, what exactly did the person do? And how long did it take for you to get away from them? And how did you end up at the hospital? And blah, 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 blah. I understand you have to ask
hey,
questions,
Lotus.
but it makes the victim.
Lotus.
Huh?
I'm truly sorry to
Yes.
cut you off, but we only get like 3 people on the phone at a time, and our guest is getting ready to call up.
Okay.
So, matter of fact, do me a favor. We'll try to get you back on, and I'll let you know in probably about 30 minutes because I want it. That's an important topic right there, and I want to continue that build. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. My bad for that, but I got to get my bro on the line too.
Okay.
All right.
Lotus, don't shoot nobody.
Well,
I'm going to try not to,
nobody
babe.
that don't deserve it.
There's that. See, I like that thought. Okay.
Right. So I'm just saying, if it's your ass or theirs, shoot their ass.
Lotus an assassin, bro. Like I'm kind of like convinced.
I got your back.
She put her heel through a front window, bro. Like after
Bruh.
hearing that, like the possibilities are endless. Like I don't doubt that anything that she do. She's like fucking Wonder Woman in the hood.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And if I need to, what I'll do is I can call him too, so that's no biggie. But salute to you, Queen, and we will try to get back to you in a few minutes. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, no doubt. Peace to you.
All right.
All right.
Peace to y'all too.
All right. So we just waiting on the brother to call up. And if need be, we'll give him a call. But he is ready. So some cops are predators too.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and a lot of people, absolutely calmed up. Like we want you to call in. That would be fucking phenomenal. And let me see. I'm just horrible at multi. I don't know what it is, man. I remember BB King saying that I think I brought that up too. He can't play the guitar and sing at the same time. I'm like that with texting. It's like when I'm texting, it's like for some reason the rest of my capabilities, the rest of my functioning just shuts down, man. I cannot text and actually hold a conversation simultaneously. I just cannot. So.
Oh man.
But that she did bring up an interesting topic, and damn, he did say he was about to call in. But she did bring an interesting topic: is the response of law enforcement. Now, law enforcement is usually late to address things on every aspect.
Unless you're white.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but the way that they handle that also, even with white folks, they always catching up with the criminal aspect of white folks. It's a reactionary situation for law enforcement. But they do have to do a better job of interacting with victims and not making the victim feel like the perpetrator.
Right.
You know.
Yo, it's all training. It's all training. Like it's gonna have to be a nationwide change on the approach of police service. Cause like if you ever watch the training, bro, like they literally train them to be like that. Like it's not a coincidence. Like it's just happening all over the country. It's like that for a reason. Like it's like that because of the training. You adjust the training, you'll see different results. Granted, you got racist cops. You know what I'm saying? You got racist cops everywhere. But for the routine shit, if you adjust the training, bro, you'll see different results. That you're seeing the results the way it is because of the training.
Right. And K Mac, and shout out to you, K Mac. But she brings up an interesting point, and basically she's saying that you can't train away a lack of empathy.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. I agree with that.
You know, and what if you happen to be one of those cops that's just an asshole and get off on some power trip? Think of it this way: that woman that you're talking to that was kidnapped, and if it's a human trafficking ring, that means that there are more people out there working in concert to take more victims. And hold on one second. Damn, I hope I what's good, bro?
Hey, what's good? Can you hear me clearly?
Oh yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, good. What's going on, Black Man?
Oh man, we chilling, man. It's just me and Rome on the call, man. What's up with you, man? How's life?
Oh man, everything is cool. You know, man, just so many different tasks and so much going on right now. You know, you got a lot of things happening at the same time, especially down here in the city of Detroit, man. It's crazy right now. So, you know, I can go on and on about what I'm doing.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
already
good,
know,
though.
bro. I already know, man. I appreciate you taking the time out for us.
Oh man, well I always got to do that for my G, my dog. You know what I mean? I got much respect for you. Much respect for you.
Oh, man.
So absolutely.
And we got to chop it up too. We got some shit coming down the pike. But man, let's this human trafficking, man. I know the People's Action has been on it for a minute, man. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, for sure. So, right now, so there's a lot of things going on with the human trafficking right now in the city of Detroit. There's a lot of misunderstanding. I know a lot of people think Detroit is the number two in terms of human trafficking, but we're number one when it comes to human trafficking, human victims of recovery. So we get a lot. I don't understand how the hell we're not number two or number one if we're like number two when it comes to victim recovery, people in human trafficking and stuff like that. I guess it's very intricate. Mm-hmm. But right now, though, man, a lot of people are hysteric and they're in fear of these white vans that's going around in the city of Detroit. There's a lot of women that are and children and young boys and young girls that are coming up missing. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of these the young boys. A lot of people don't know is that these young boys is getting molested and snatched up too. So we dealing with that. We dealing with the aspect of organ harvesting. I don't know if people did some research, but you got a lot of it's like a pipeline from Chicago to Detroit with the organ harvesting here. One of the centers got recently raided about 2 years ago on the Detroit East Side. So you got a lot of that stuff going on, man. So right now, what a lot of us is doing is getting a lot of data, information, and seeing seeing what patterns are there where we can try to help prevent it. So one of the things that we do know is, and this is what a couple of informations that people can give because this is happening on a national scale. They're targeting really people that are marginalized. So a lot of the people that are being targeted are people that's in the shelter, foster care system, prostitutes, young women and young boys who don't seem like somebody cares about them. So if they end up missing, You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really looking for them like that. So they look for that. The number one tool and the number one way that they're getting people through human trafficking and hunting them down is through social media. That's the number one way that they're doing that. So, for all the parents that got children out there, that's how they communicate. That's how they setting you up, and that's how they snatching them up and all that. So they need to understand that. Now, what we're doing on our end is that we're setting up a patrol system. We're going to probably tentatively launch that in March, and we're going to do it in areas that's high risk of human trafficking. I can't list of how we qualifying it because it can be a predator that's listening in and stuff like
I
that.
got you.
But we are choosing. We're gonna probably monitor probably about 5 schools, and we're gonna make sure that the children are getting to and from school safe. We can't be everywhere at the same time. And then the other thing that we're gonna do, and we was ahead of the game before it got popular. I remember when last time I talked to you, I was telling you how we do self defense classes for children and women. We're gonna bring that back as well. So
Awesome.
those are the two things that we are focusing on, particularly really is the children, because they are the most vulnerable and they're the ones that really are mostly defenseless when it comes to human trafficking.
And you know what, man? Shout out to you, bro. Like if y'all don't know, man, like he puts it on the line for black folks from the moment he wakes up to the moment he lays it down. And I'm so dead ass serious about that, man. I like me and him chop it up. You feel me? So I know, and I got a lot of respect for you, bro. And shout out to the People's Action too, man, because it was one.
Can't do nothing but respect.
It was one brother in the video that was, and he was saying, like niggas, we just making Facebook posts. It's time for us to do more shit. If people want to help y'all, man, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, for sure, man. You can go on our website, thepeoplesaction.com, and then it's a donate tab at the top of the screen. You can go on there. You can cash app us at the People's Action. The $ the People's Action. You can donate that way. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, most importantly, you can always come out and just help out. We always welcome volunteers to come out because we always got a lot of initiatives, man. Right now too. Other thing that we looking at is that it just hit recent news. We've been talking about this forever, but it's just the month. I guess the figures came out, but Detroit City Assessor was over assessing houses on for the property taxes. They was over assessing the property tax value of the houses between 2010 to 2016. And it came out. A report came out last week that they did it. They charged over assessed it by 600 million. So you had roughly between 50 to 83% of the foreclosures that happened in the city of Detroit between 2010 and 2016 that was illegally done.
Wow.
And then here's the thing: in 2015, right, Detroit had its largest tax foreclosure in the history of America. We had more houses that were tax foreclosed than any other city or any amount in the history of America, and that was done illegally. So right now, what's going on is that there's a big commotion about it, and a lot of people is in uproar because Detroit is already one of the most blighted cities in America. I mean, if anybody who visited Detroit, I know you know this, family, but anybody who's visited Detroit, we have some of the most blighted houses in America. And we also got some funding from Barack Obama. Barack Obama in 2008 came up with a federal program called the Hard Hit Fund. So he wanted to give millions of dollars to the seven top states that was most devastated by tax foreclosure. Detroit was one of them in 2008. When we got our white mayor in 2014 that was elected, he took the money and he went to the U.S. Treasury. He told the U.S. Treasury that he wanted to use the money to tear down houses because we had too many blights. So he took half of the money that was used to prevent families from getting their homes foreclosed. He used that money to tear down houses. And then when he used the money to tear down the houses, he hired all white companies. And then he made it where he rigged the bid, where he only the bids was where he only did it where you can bid for houses at a very high price, at a very high amount, high volume. And the more you raise the bid up to take on a lot of work, the more you got to have qualifications as far as tax bonds So that what that did was is xed out all the black companies. So he only hired 2 companies, 3 companies that were all white. Then he fucked up the money, and they said it was illegal. And then the next year you had your biggest tax foreclosure in the history of America in the city of Detroit. And then now you got even more blight because a lot of these people lost their houses. So this is what we're dealing with current day, 2020 right now. We got that as a crisis as well. So I'm trying to work with everybody, and we're trying to figure out. We're about to file a federal a lawsuit against the city because we're saying we got to get y'all got to pay them people back that y'all taxes that houses that y'all foreclosed, because you had a lot of people houses that got foreclosed for like owing like maybe only $200, and they taking the houses flipping them for $40,000. This is facts.
And that ties in with the trafficking, because now you have a
That ties
population
in
of
with
people.
the human
Right,
trafficking.
you got a population of people that have nowhere to live, or they've had to downsize significantly and put themselves in areas where they aren't familiar, that may be a little bit more dangerous, and Carmen brought up a beautiful point, is that it's not the same as when Becky in Farmington gets kidnapped as it is when Shanika in Brightmoor gets kidnapped. It's just not going to be the same. So we have to be the ears, the eyes, and the action, in the hood, because they don't give a shit.
But what even is more scary about it too, to add on, because you made a very valid point, Joseph, is that those abandoned houses, they're also used to bury and hide bodies, and that's where most of the rape goes. Like when we have serial rapists in the community, and we have rapists, they go to them. They use those abandoned houses for that. So those abandoned houses is very dangerous. A lot of these kids that be walking that live in these poverty restricted neighborhoods, a lot of these blocks, you only may have 2 houses that's occupied. The rest of them is bandos. So it ain't nothing for somebody to roll up on a little boy, a little girl, snatch them up, take them on one of them abandoned houses, do whatever they want to do to them, and then you find them. 49% of the homicides that's in the city of Detroit is is unsolved. Most of them is in abandoned houses.
Wow. So half of the homicides are unsolved?
Yeah. For about 49%. But that's in a lot of places. That's in Chicago too. A lot of places got that's like at a 49%. A lot of us don't know that. But yeah, 51% of murder cases is unsolved. In Detroit, it's at 49%.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like that here in Baltimore too.
Yeah, but a lot of ours is in abandoned houses though. We got about roughly how many abandoned houses, man? We got I don't know the number, but I know when it started off in 2014, we was like at like 60,000 abandoned houses. I think we at like 25,000 right now.
Let me ask you this, bro. What would you think about, like, let's start a drive or something. We gotta try to figure this out, man, to get y'all some drones.
You said to get us some what now?
Some drones.
Yeah. You said some drones? Yeah.
And that way, instead of like, you and your boy being able to cover, and he knows what I'm talking about, but from like 7 Mile from Greenfield to Southfield, one person can cover 7 Mile from Greenfield to Evergreen.
That's a great idea. I never thought about that. So you're saying using drones to like monitor the community?
Absolutely.
I never thought of that.
And you got camera footage on there, and you can do that. You can sit in your front yard if you want to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know what? That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting idea. I think that's a good idea. I wonder in terms of the logistics of that and the budgeting costs for that as well, and how would that work? And also, if there's some like, legalities associated with it, policies and stuff like that. Like I said, we got a rapport with the city, so a lot of times we can, bypass some of the regulations that they may have on that. But I think that's a great idea, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Shit, they should have that. Well, nah, we probably don't want them to have it.
They
You can
But
get
they got
you can get a really good drone for about $1,000. Probably
uh,
like my homie. I got a really close friend that's into him. He had a drone that I think had like a 10-mile radius. Um, like literally was remote control. You could program it to survey a specific area, like all of that shit. Where you could literally see everything. You could see, yeah, probably about $1,000 a pop. You got a really good one. Come with like a real big remote control, camera on and everything.
wow. And you said cover about a 10-mile radius.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
nice.
that's the whole hood right there.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like yeah, that actually, and I think that what you would find is more people would volunteer to do that than to physically drive around.
Facts.
And I
Facts.
understand that. I'm not knocking them either. I'm just because you're not you don't feel like you're putting your because you want to go home to your family and your friends too. So you're not putting yourself in a huge dangerous situation, and you still being able to monitor the community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I
Well,
go ahead, bro.
that's why that's specifically why that's specifically why I was looking at doing something as small as monitoring the schools because we don't have to be in the street 24/7. That's the only thing we really can target because we can't say the whole city. You feel me?
Exactly.
But I like that idea though. That is definitely more efficient.
And that's something that if you did it right, I'm sure you can get those donated.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can work on. After we get. Matter of fact, I'll be there this weekend.
Are you coming to the
Yeah,
city? Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'll be hanging out with my grandbaby, so just to let you know. But
Okay.
I do want to chop it up with you, bro. We got to sit down and build a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Let's do that. And then also to your Cali audience, we'll be in LA on the February 6th to February 9th. Again, we're gonna be in LA on February 6th to February 9th. We're gonna be out there. We're going to the projects. We're going over there in Nickerson Gardens. A lot of y'all, for those who don't know where the Nickerson Gardens is, that's in Watts. That's over there where they shot close to where they shot Minister Society back in the day. We're gonna be out there Saturday from 2 to 4. We're gonna be talking about black empowerment. We're gonna be passing out literature, financial literacy, black empowerment, resources. We got brothers that's talking about cutting the young kids' hair. It's just about solidarity. So if you in LA, make sure y'all stop through Saturday at 2 p.m. We're gonna be in front of the Nickerson Garden Projects. Come holler
are
at
you on
us.
Twitter?
That's
Are
what's
you on
up.
Twitter?
Yeah, we on Twitter too. The People's Action Act. It's called the People's Act. I'm sorry. At the People's Act. ACT.
All right, cause I think we talked about that too, but I don't think I introduced you to well, at least tried to introduce you to B Dot.
That
Oh
name
yeah,
too.
yeah. That's perfect.
Okay.
Battle rapper.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I know that name from. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sun fire.
Yeah, he is,
Yeah.
but he is big on the community aspect.
Yeah, facts.
Okay. Well, I definitely need to connect with him then, for sure.
So yeah, you got to remind me, man. I'm old, man. I forget shit. But I'm trying to like look him up on Twitter. Now, for some reason, it's just always fucking difficult for me to find the cat on Twitter. But let me ask you this
You
though.
said it's B. I'm fine.
Yeah, B dot the God. But let me ask you this: any advice you have for people to protect themselves, and not just like okay, I got a gun, but as far as things that they can do to not put themselves in harm's way as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few things. Number one, um, we're not saying walk in fear, but be aware of your surroundings. Like if you if you don't try to not, first of all, try not to really step out that much at places at nighttime. That's number one. So if you got to stop and get gas and it's like 11 o'clock, try to go somewhere where there's a lot of traffic, maybe where they have security inside the gas stations, or places where they actually know you at real well. that you're very familiar with. But if you can't, try to avoid at all costs getting out at nighttime. That's number one. The second thing is make sure that you don't that your children do not talk to strangers or randomly talk to people on the internet and meet people off the internet. That's a big no-no. That's the number one way to target. Try to also learn self-defense. Okay, self-defense classes. Take one or two. They give you some great techniques on try to how to evade if somebody's grabbing you, somebody's trying to abduct you. They'll give you some great pointers on that. Also, don't just think it's just white vans that's hopping out on people. I mean, now that the white vans got popular, I'm sure they're gonna switch up their thing. They coming out in brown vans, and they grabbing people in like cars too. They'll pick you up in a shooter in a Grand Am and hop out and get you. You know. Also, do not walk on streets that are mainly occupied. So if there's a street that's maybe 3 or 4 occupied homes, don't walk down that street. Just cross the street, take the long route, stay on main streets where there's businesses. Don't really try to walk into the neighborhoods until you get to the block, even if that's require you to take a longer route. So I would always suggest those things, and those are the things that I can think of just offhand. Always go for the growing. Of course, if somebody does try to grab you, go immediately for their growing or for their eyes. Those are things that immediately that can they'll react to that you can hurry up and evade. So those are just simple steps. But I highly recommend everybody go to self defense because they really gonna def and give you a lot of good information.
That's dope. That's dope right there, man. Yeah, and Carmen said they're using luxury cars too. Like I'll give you it's not human trafficking, but the extent to what criminals have elevated themselves. Like especially before weed became legal in Michigan, what some of the syndicates would do was literally cash out a house in one of the plushest suburbs of any city, turn that whole house into one grow, put weed plants in there from top to bottom, do that one time, and dump the house. So, and my point in saying that is that criminals adapt way quicker than the rest of us.
Yeah.
So like you if you probably right. Like the white van is probably the least favorite choice at this point because we all looking for a white van.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, be diligent, and just because they driving a Kia don't mean that they not looking to do some harm.
Not it's at this point when brothers is pulling up on you and women, because on an international scale, that's what I got to mention. Is a lot of the women are doing it too. A lot of women are abducting the other women and boys because women are more they can be more deceptive, and your guard is off if a woman is pulling up on you. But a woman to pull up on you, and then you'll see 2 men grab you from behind. So don't just think it's just men. It's women as well. In fact, women are leading on an international scale. Women are the leading human traffickers, at least as far as the face.
Wow,
that would shock a lot of people. I was shocked when I read. Yeah,
I did not know. Wow.
So don't think women can't get you as well. Women is getting them too. So you can't trust nobody. So if you walking to work or whatever, and somebody pulling over, whoever it is, don't go to them, man or woman. Keep it moving.
And see, what I used to do when I used to have to walk, I always walk in the absolute middle of the street. Mm-hmm. I can see both sides of the street. You're not gonna run up off the side of a house up on me. Generally speaking, if it's you got lights out there, you're in the lights, and you can always see the car coming in front of you, and you'll be able to hear a car coming behind you. And please stop jogging by yourself with headphones on.
Oh yeah, that's great information. Yeah, that's a big no. Having them headphones, you completely vulnerable at that point. Somebody can just sneak up behind you and grab you. That's the worst thing you can do. That's another one. Absolutely.
And they are making them even more noise proof, so you literally can't hear shit.
No, you can't.
So you got to be diligent. And
I mean, it's fucked up that it's like that, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that's just the times we live in. I would love for it not to be that way, but I mean, shit. Unfortunately, it's like that.
Yeah, like we gotta adapt, and we gotta make sure that if shit's gonna affect a community, it ain't ours.
That's right.
Or minimize it to because and you right, like, and people. Let me say this again, like people, there's a lot of us doing this shit to us.
Facts.
So don't think because they look like you that they ain't trying to kidnap you and sell you to the highest bidder.
Yeah. I mean, shit. We can look at even how Europeans didn't know shit about Africa when they first came, right? They was going through Savannah, I'm sorry, Sahara, and going through the deserts. Man, they motherfuckers didn't know their way around like that. They needed help.
Yep.
So who helped them navigate through Africa? You know, who introduced them to who? So it's the same thing. So we always got to be wary and conscientious of those kind of things.
And just to kind of go back to the police thing just one time, because this case came to mind, this Anthony Sowell case here. This dude killed I don't know how many women here. And there was one woman that escaped, went to the police. The police came to this man's front fucking door. Blood was on the door. And because she was a crackhead, they didn't do shit. They left.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you were saying about them preying on the marginalized community.
Yeah, that dude. I think was my man from Cleveland. I think was he from Cleveland?
Yeah.
You remember did you hear about the guy who killed like over? They said he was like one of the worst serial killers. He killed like over 100 or 200 women. You know what I'm talking about? My man from Cleveland.
I don't know I don't think it was this cat I'm talking about. Not that many, but now I don't remember anybody with those type of numbers. That's obscene. Not that
yeah,
one
so
is any less obscene.
It's an older cat. It's an older cat. He in prison right now. He a black man. I want to say he originally from Cleveland, but he traveled all over. But he had record numbers though. He had I think he had more than Ted Bundy. And the women that he went over women that he went after was nothing but prostitutes. And the reason he went over prostitutes, he said because they was nobody cared about him. And he said that was why he was able to do it as long as he wanted, that as long as he has. And he did it for so long, he got so careless that he damn near wanted to get caught. He could have kept going, you know what I mean? So these victims prey on that. Oh, and then the other thing that I've learned in the research and got information on also is that they say 80% of human trafficking comes from foster care systems. They say a lot of the people that's in the foster care system is complicit in the actual human trafficking. So that's another issue as well. So a lot of our children, and they real big right now on foster care. A lot of Detroit is not as bad, but in other communities in LA and other cities, they snatching up babies in a heartbeat. Especially if you go somewhere like Texas and they get them in that foster care system. So we really need to. That's something that we also need to look at in the future, is how a lot of the black children are being exploited in the foster care system, and a lot of these white families and gay couples are adopting these children. These white gay couples who can't have kids, they getting these black children, and they seeing all kinds of synthetic shit that me and you don't normally see on a daily day basis. You know what I mean? So
wow,
it's crazy.
Wow, I didn't think about that, but now that you bring that up, it that's a perfect storm.
Yeah,
because you have the most vulnerable population that can exist in foster children, and then you have somebody that people in a lot of times aren't, even though they should be keeping tabs on them, they aren't. And by the time you find out something fucked up is going on, it's too late.
Even think of it like this, my G. The only reason why it's becoming so popular right now is because people who are not necessarily considered to be marginalized are being affected by it. That's the only reason. But this stuff has been very prevalent in these kind of communities for a very long time. It's just hitting people who actually have people that really care about them and that's noticing it. But all these 50, 80,000, 100,000 black girls missing, a lot of them black girls was in foster care. A lot of them was prostitutes, runaways, troubled children, come from very poor families that don't necessarily have the sophistication or the cerebral skills to really actually do something about it in a way that makes a stance. A lot of those people come from broken homes, but now it's getting over to some community, some middle class families, and that's why it's becoming even more awareness than it ever has been. Because this shit ain't nothing new.
And for all you niggas out there that is spelling black with two C's or everything is Bompton or this, all my gang niggas out there, this shit should be off limits.
Facts.
Have some fucking standards. That's why shit ain't organized and structured. Y'all got no standards, and I'm not disrespecting you, but step your game up. This should be off fucking limits. And let me see. Carmen want me to. Jeffrey Dahmer killed mostly black gay men, and one got away and called the cops. And Jeffrey told the cops the guy was on drugs, and the cops let him go. He went on to kill 20 more men in his apartment. The victim who called was black. Now, see, my problem with that is when I got away and them niggas told me that shit, and I know it's just that nigga, I'm coming back with 10 other black gay dudes, and we gonna beat your ass.
There you go.
Like, we gotta stop. Like, this shit happens. Yes, we need to discipline this shit ourselves if need be.
Well, it's gonna take that level of concerted effort among all of us, really. To be honest with you, I agree with you, because right now, what we're looking at is when you're talking about marginalized people, really, it's synonymous with black folks. Mostly the people that are being marginalized is us, black people. And if motherfuckers don't care, then who's gonna step up and really protect those people? You know what I mean? Some of the most brilliant people that we know of, that we idolize, come from marginalized communities. Look at Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur mama was a crackhead. He was running around, jumping from house to house from New York to LA, and he was brilliant. Malcolm X, after his father died, he was in the streets. He was poor and going all over the place. So a lot of our great leaders and great remarkable people come from those communities. But Tupac Shakur, Malcolm X, if it was like it was now, they could have been victims, and we would have never been blessed to even get that kind of talent and influence. So we need to look at that. Those people matter. Those people are just as important as anybody else, and we need to take it serious and not wait till it comes to our doorstep when our little nieces or our daughters or somebody or our granddaughters get kidnapped. All of a sudden, we want to become the biggest activists in the goddamn country. And I'm not saying that to diss people, but again, I really be feeling sometimes the type of way when I see some of these mothers out here that's big activists after their son got killed. But you should have been like that before then. You understand what I'm saying? You should have been a big ass activist before your son was even born. Because it shouldn't take for something to happen directly for you to understand. And if we're gonna all be like that, then that means, in essence, what that means is that black folks ain't gonna invest into it until it happens to them. We're gonna just continue to be reactionary.
I mean, but that's Emmett Till's mother. Repeat it, because that's what she said. She was like, that shit was down south. I didn't think that would happen to us.
Yeah.
And then when it happened to her, and that's us being reactionary. And I'm tired of brothers out here like oh, I'm a leader, I'm doing this. No, being a leader on Facebook or in a Facebook group is not being a leader. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not.
Come on now.
Like stop padding your resume.
Yeah.
I'm a lazy nigga. I'm gonna tell you I'm a lazy nigga. Ain't no pad in my resume to that. But I'm gonna do whatever I can with my talents or what I think is my talents to help. You know, so when we can do a show like this, and I didn't even realize like 4 years, was it 3-4 years ago we did a show like this. I just happened to see the shits because somebody happened to just share this shit out the blue 2 days ago. I didn't even remember we did that.
I see you tagged me.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that shit. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, like, you know, and it is sad that, like you said earlier, you know, like it's a quote unquote popular thing, a popular topic. Now, it's sad, but it's a good thing at the same time, if that makes sense. It's sad that it had to get to this point, you know, and that a lot of lives were taken before people start waking up. But it's good that it's getting the notoriety so that people will pay attention more, and hopefully we can eliminate this shit, and if not, decrease it out significantly, at least out of our neighborhoods, because that's really all I'm concerned about.
But here's the even sad thing about it though. Motherfuckers still ain't even really doing shit like that. It's maybe a few, but it's still not enough people who actually taking an initiative to address this situation that's happening. That's the sad part. Now people are just talking about it. Hopefully, that'll transform into something, or it'll come into some kind of action. But there's still not enough people that's getting involved and doing the things that I'm doing, or doing what you're doing, trying to bring even more awareness, using your platform, whatever the case may be. People will share a post and they done something, as you were saying earlier.
Now, I will say what we have to do is make it as easy as possible for people to participate. You know, I don't know who out there can make apps, but this is a great fucking way to make an app. I don't know exactly how you can do it, but at least I can text this app. I don't have to put my name out there, but so and so, I just seen this happen.
Yeah.
You know, that way for those idiots out there that's still on that, I don't want to snitch shit. Well, you still can say something and get something actionable done without you feeling like you snitched on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to use the technology that we have at hand, but you know, it's like when people use too many syllables, only a few people listening. It's the same thing. Sometimes we got to simplify shit to get people involved, and whatever we need to do. If you got an idea, hey, I may not be able to make that shit happen, but I probably know somebody that does.
Right. That's real.
You know, so reach out. And I didn't realize, man, we ain't got but about 10 minutes left to go. And let me ask y'all this too, for anybody that's listening and that will be listening, you know, after the show. It's totally off the topic, but if we were to offer you our liberation-minded media group that is Black Eye Stand Radio, Do the Knowledge Radio, The Rundown with Renee, and My Skin is My Sin, and I always forget Psychopathy, it's my fault, bruh. But if we were able to offer you that with a black-owned social media site that has all the functionality of Facebook, for $10 a month, would that be something you'd be interested in? If so, let me know. And the $10 a month is to prevent as many bullshitters as possible, basically. And if you know, to keep the white folks out if possible. And you ain't got to worry about getting suspended every other week or people being all up in your personal shit. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. And shout out to you, Larisha. Shout out to Carm, K-Mac, and everybody that's tuned. We had quite a few people check it out today. Natasha, shout out to you, Queen. Jay Mitchell, Lotus, as always. My bad, Queen. I forgot. We got the building and, you know, blaming on some other shit. I blame Rome. Don't ask me why. Fuck it. But before we go, man, let the people know one more time, man, how they get in contact with you.
Yeah, facts. Again, that website or on social media, but website, thepeoplesaction.com, or you can go online, Facebook, Instagram, The People's Action, on Twitter, The People's Act, at The People's Act. So we definitely very accessible. And then our email is info at thepeoplesaction.com. So we're very accessible. We always trying to put in the work. We got some strong kings and queens. We continuously expanding, and we got real good energy, man. We got real great energy, man. So we welcome if anybody want to join. If you want TPA in your community in your city, we're expanding chapters. We're just about to open up in LA, so holla at me, or any of the members, and we down. We ready to put boots on the ground. We definitely about that life, and we definitely pro black. If it ain't black, it ain't right. We don't get caught up in the media and all the exploitations that come with that. We only fuck with the real ones, like my skin. You feel me?
That's what's up.
So
Man.
that's that.
That's what's up, man. And that's dope. I saw that y'all had a chapter coming to LA too. I'm like, wow, that's fucking fire right there, man. Shout out to y'all, bro.
Oh yeah. Shout out to LA, man. They real out there. I love them. That's why I'm out there damn near 4 times a year.
No, man, I got to get out there with you, bro. It's going to happen. Don't say nothing, Rome. I know. I'm scared of fucking planes. I know, man. We'll figure it out somehow, man. And don't forget, man. Check out Self Love is My Rehab every Sunday at 7 p.m. Shout out to Natasha Williams and DC, the co-host of that show on the platform. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. And if you are looking to go anywhere on the planet, shout out to Camp Cleveland, another family member of My Skin Is My Sin. And before we go, I usually do his commercial break at about 8 o'clock, but we got to, it was just, we got to build it, man. But I want to make sure that we show that too, because this one is dope. Like, this one is live from Egypt.
What's good, family? We out here in Egypt. We in Luxor. We in one of these temples. We in the Valley of the Kings. One of the late great pharaohs. You can see the artwork in the back. The melanated people. Big shout out to the family. My Skin Is My Sin Radio. Y'all stay tuned in. I know it's been a couple weeks, but I've been out here grinding. If any of y'all want to take one of these trips to Kemet, Egypt, and learn some of that history, as you can see, it's people coming from all over the world, still getting that knowledge. I hope y'all can see that detail in the background. Woo. It's an incline. Walking up these temples ain't no joke. So yeah, stay tuned in. My Skin Is My Sin. Peace.
Yo, that one was fire right there. I'm telling you, man. You watch the replay, man. Like the detail. Like, he's literally in the tombs. That's so fucking fire, man. And the reason we do this part, like, we do this every Thursday, and usually he'll give us about 5 minutes, kind of like on one of the countries he's been to. But we do that because kids need to be able to see that that's possibility. That's a possibility. They don't have to just live on their block. They can live on this planet and see the whole shit. So shout out to you, King, man. As always, man, a beautiful build. Definitely appreciate your energy and your wisdom. You still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm still here, family. Okay. Absolutely.
All right, man. I just want to say thank you, man. And not just for the show, man, but just for you. You're a dope motherfucker, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate that, man. Hey, shout out to the People's Action. I couldn't do it without y'all. Supporters like yourself. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you for acknowledging the work, and also sharing your platform and being just, a good friend and a good help. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Jackie, my COO. Shout out to Ghana. Shout out to Alea Forest Detroit. Shout out to New Era Detroit, Skrill. Shout out to Furry, Brenda Hill, all the people that's just sacrificing, Keith Bennett, that's putting in the work, man. Much love, much respect. I'm a humble servant, and I really got a lot of passion and love for people, and this is what I do, man. This is where I'm at, and this is what I was born to do. So I'm just honored, and I actually like doing this shit. So, thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. One love. I'm gonna get off and stop running my mouth. Get back to work. But I appreciate y'all, family.
All right, bro, man. I'll holler at you this weekend.
All right, for sure, my G.
All right, peace.
Peace and love, y'all. Black power.
Black power. Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. I don't. Rome apparently hung up. I didn't even know that shit. I know I didn't hang up. But anyway, we about done for the show anyway. But yeah, I did happen to see. I saw the replays. You know what? Like dude is nice. Like Zion, I and we'll get into it a little bit more tomorrow. But I just want the kid to stay healthy. He seems like a really humble kid. A little sheltered. So I fear for people taking advantage of him. So that's a strong possibility that Roxy cut the phone cord. That is a strong possibility. But if you do happen to check out the show, please, 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 the people's action, like, I vouch for them. If that means any scintilla of anything to anybody on the planet, and you rarely ever hear me say that, I absolutely wholeheartedly vouch for them. They are a good organization. It is not about the ego with him. It is not about a bunch of bullshit with him. It is about black folks and what can they do to put us in a better situation. So if you can, look them up. What's good, fam?
Yeah, man, my bad, bro. And then
Yeah.
fucking people keep calling me. I can't ignore them phone calls.
Oh, well, we thought Roxy cut your phone cord and shit.
Listen, I got a real life Roxy, bro. Like, listen.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I tell you what, Carmen, think of some topics and you can put them in the comments after the show is done, or you can put them in the chat now if you want. That way we can ensure that you got some lit topics that you want to chop it up about, cuz I honestly
can I can I rant real quick before we get off, yo?
All right, go ahead, bro.
Yo, I'm at work. I was fasting today. Yo, I had a smoothie for breakfast, yo. I was hungry as shit. You know what I'm saying? So so I'm fucking working, right? So I waited specifically. I didn't take a 15-minute break at all because I said I was gonna take my break in 1 hour and sit down and eat
Right.
a healthy meal from Whole Foods, right?
Yeah.
So I go on Whole Foods, and it was so much shit that was just like out there. Like I didn't necessarily know what I had a taste for. So I go down to the hot bar, right? So they had this macaroni and cheese out, and it was chorizo and poblano peppers and then white cheddar macaroni and cheese. I'm like, yo, that shit sounds good as fuck.
No, it doesn't.
So
But go ahead.
I got it, right?
Uh-huh.
So then I saw some buffalo wings. So I was like, yo, I never had buffalo wings from Whole Foods.
I was about to
So
ask, are they allowed to sell buffalo wings? Apparently so. My bad.
so
Go ahead.
I get the buffalo wings, right? So then they had some sesame broccoli. So I was like,
what?
I never had sesame broccoli. So I got some sesame broccoli. Go sit down, enjoy my meal. My nigga, I'm about to send. Can you upload this picture I'm about to send you?
Yeah, actually I could.
Hold on.
But how you just gonna stop in the middle of the story, bro?
Yo, when I tell you it was the wackest chicken wings I've ever experienced in my fucking life. Like, how do you fuck up chicken wings?
Bruh, no, you fucked up by buying chicken wings from fucking Whole Foods. Like,
listen, hold on.
What made you think that was a good idea?
Listen, bro. This, like, I just sent you this picture. The shit looks delicious. They were the smallest chicken wings I've ever experienced in my fuck. It looks like quail wings. Like, like pigeon wings.
Is that a thing? Ugh, that's nasty, bro.
Yo, this like it was like I ate the chicken and was like, this fucking vegan chicken wings. Like, What the fuck is this shit? Yo, I was so mad, bro. And I spent $13 on that shit.
$13.
$13, my nigga. Like, do you see how small them fucking chicken wings is?
You didn't see them before you purchased them?
I was hungry, man. Like, I just wanted to eat. Like, I was already there. I wanted to eat.
Okay, those are some extra. Yeah, but you didn't see them before you bought them.
Them shits is like baby chicken wings.
Nah, bro. I'm sorry, man. You my dog. You know that, man. But there's absolutely no way you can blame fucking Whole Foods for that shit, bro. You saw it. You looked at the wings before you purchased them.
Yeah, they look good. They look good in the picture.
This shit looked like a doggy bag that you went out somewhere and you brought this shit home. Yeah, or they gave you a kid's plate.
Nigga, I'm hungry.
Apparently not, bro. Because any hungry man that sees that shit already knows that's not gonna get the job done.
Nigga, do I want, like, that was the most normal thing that was chicken wings, bro. Like, are you serious?
Well, I understand that part, but you went to Whole Foods to get chicken wings, bro.
I went to Whole Foods to eat something healthy. Like if that's healthy chicken wings, them shits, like, healthy chicken wings sting. If that's the case, bro. That shit was horrible, bro. Like, I would never eat chicken out of Whole Foods again. Like, I felt like I was eating a baby chicken. Like, them chicken wings were small as fuck, bro.
That's your fault, man. Wait a minute.
I don't know, man.
Larisha said that mac and cheese is a forgery.
Yo, listen, but it was white people. It was white people. It was white people, like, my expectations on it was like, it sounded good when I read it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was like, let me try this. Let me try something different.
See, you didn't get macaroni and cheese. You got macaroni shells with cheese on them.
With cheese sauce.
Right. Like that. No. So you ain't getting
It's fucking grape drink. I want some of that purple stuff.
Oh my god, man. All right, man. That's enough, man. We're gonna have to continue this tomorrow because I may have to end up just taking this down and just using some of the show and putting it back up because I don't want nobody to feel like we were being disparaging or disrespectful to the topic. Yeah, that chicken was horrible though, bro.
Bruh, I want my money back. I'm going to tag Whole Foods tomorrow and complain about these fucking chicken wings, bro. Like, I'm dead ass.
Okay, well, tag me in that post so I can be like, bro, you shouldn't have bought that shit. You should have seen that shit.
Listen, I'm trying to be healthy, yo. Like,
then quit complaining. They gave you a healthy ass Whole Foods meal.
That shit was healthy bullshit. Like, it was a healthy heaping of bullshit, yo. Like, I was upset.
I still don't understand it. But we definitely got to talk about Orlando Brown and Nick Cannon tomorrow. But anyway, man, give your shout-outs, man. Give your shout-outs. We'll say that for tomorrow. Because the longer we go, the more difficult it is for me to download the show. And
all right, man. Yo, shout-out Keys Development. Shout-out 300 Gangsters. Yo, follow me on IG at Striving for Perfection _43. Yo, shout-out Team Melvin. We out here, man. We in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, got some shit coming, man. You know, like, it's jokes and all that. You know what I mean? But, yo, at the end of the day, yo, it's another story behind that, too, man. So, yo, just follow me. Fuck with us, man. Holler at us tomorrow. We got the water cooler popping. And, yo, that's it, man. And, yo, I'm tagging tomorrow, bro. Like, I'm going to rant tomorrow. I'm going to tag Whole Foods on Instagram.
All right. I want to see that one. And don't forget to check out the website, mrochelle.com. Check us out. Matter of fact, I never say this either, man. Look us up. Follow us on Instagram. My Skin Is My Sin and the number 1. On Twitter, it's My Skin Is My Sin and the number 1. do us a favor. Please share the show. Pick a show, any show. Call somebody. Tell them this is a good show. Come fuck with them. Like the shit, share the shit, the whole nine. Leave a comment after the fact. That helps. If you bored, you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, just leave a comment. That's all. On any one of our gazillion shows. And definitely appreciate David, the comedian, David A. Arnold, for coming on yesterday. The shit was mad early. So I just recorded it and uploaded. But check that out. That was a very dope build. And again, don't forget to check out Self Love is My Rehab every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Blog Talk channel is blogtalkradio.com/My Skin Is My Sin. All right. Shout out to Carm, Larisha, K-Mac, everybody. I think I already shouted everybody out already. And we out. Have a good one.